The year just started and Akio Iyoku is already bringing the heat. He recently sat down with the popular Japanese radio show All Night Nippon. Apparently it's been going on for many years in Japan. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. And he talked for about 20 minutes about various Dragon Ball things, including Daima and what may be coming. This is translated from Para P. Rayumi on X. Again, I'm probably most definitely mispronouncing that, so I'll go ahead and leave their username in the description of this video. We're also going to be talking about the Dragon Ball Daima break. Don't worry, it's not very long. And we're going to also be talking about what to look forward to in January, courtesy of DBS Hype. So first off, let's jump into this interview. And there's a lot of things that Iyoku talks about. We're going to go over most of it, but I want to talk about the big thing that you probably came to this video for first, which is the teaser for content coming in 2025. Now, we don't know what exactly is going to be coming, but let's just say it is a teaser. So I'll go ahead and read this off as Andy has laid it out on these bullet point posts. So again, this is translated, so it's a little rough, but it's really good actually. So let's just go ahead and get into it. He says, asked about more movies, games, etc., he said there may be some announcements coming this year. Now that's the post that a lot of people are latching onto, especially the word may, but there's actually a final bullet point where it says, since it's New Year, he'd recommend to rewatch the 12 Daima episodes we have so far, enjoy the games, and look forward to 2025. Host goes like, quote, there's something, right? Iyoku goes like, something, hinting at something might be coming / announced. So Iyoku literally says something in response to the host saying there's something, right? AKA something planned for 2025. Now, this is just straight up confirmation. This isn't just a may. This is a something. Now, what is that something? That is what many people are allowed to speculate on. Now, I will leave a link in the description to a video where I previously speculated about a movie that could be announced or even released this year or early next year. Now, it's possible that does not end up being a Dragon Ball movie. In that case, we would probably have a game to look forward to. But many people are saying, with Sparking Zero, is it too soon for another game? That's something to talk about on another day. Let's go ahead and jump into the rest of this Iyoku interview because he does give some interesting tidbits that I think really shed some light on the current state of Dragon Ball and where things are at legally. So he says his job as executive producer basically about the anime series as a whole, but he is also involved with other projects including games. We're thinking about stuff like how to proceed with the story moving forward. Now I notice it doesn't say anything about the manga specifically, but it's entirely possible that the manga part would work alongside the story moving forward part. Maybe that's why Shueisha is putting a delay on Dragon Ball Super so long, because they're working with Toyotaro and Iyoku, whereas before it was probably Toyotaro and Toriyama, and they probably had an easier relationship, but that's just pure speculation for me. What I think is interesting, though, is he's in charge of the anime series as a whole. Some people before, whenever I said that we wouldn't have Daima without Iyoku, some people were like, I wouldn't say that. No, seriously, Iyoku is the guy pushing for Daima. Toriyama, of course, was the one that, of course, took over the project and made it his own. But you can really tell that Iyoku really wanted Daima. He's obviously out on the front lines promoting it, so it makes sense. His favorite characters are Piccolo and Korin, and apparently he's the reason that Dragon Ball Superhero came about, because he was thinking about Piccolo and he consulted with Toriyama. That's very interesting. Now, he says he's confident about knowing everything about Dragon Ball, but would probably fail if it came to a quiz, which I guess that does make sense. Now, this is the one that I found very interesting. He's aware of the crazy Dragon Ball fandom abroad, as he went to Dragon Ball events outside Japan. Asked about which cosplay he noticed the most abroad, it's of course Goku, but interestingly also Master Roshi. That does make sense. I have seen a lot of Master Roshi cosplays, but what I wanted to mainly talk about in that answer was he's aware of the crazy Dragon Ball fandom abroad. It's just nice to be acknowledged sometimes, because it feels like with a lot of things when it comes to anime, it seems like they're serving Japan first and the US or many other places abroad second, but it seems like Iyoku is very, very vocal about being aware that that is the case, that they are conscious about Dragon Ball being a worldwide product, which makes sense with how quick they got it on Crunchyroll this time around and how they've been really promoting it at places like New York Comic Con. He talked about the difficulty in making new games. He says it's not like let's make it and it will be ready next year. Realistically, it can take up to 3 to 5 years, so it's sometimes better to also make DLCs, such as Kakarot, to keep people engaged, which makes a lot of sense. So with that being said, they're probably not going to come out with a new game this year because they just had Sparking Zero last year. They'll probably want to create DLC for Sparking Zero for this year, which of course we know is already confirmed, of course with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot DLC as well. Of course, it's also possible that they somehow have a game ready, who knows, but I just thought it was interesting that he shed such a light on the game development process. When asked about Dragon Ball Daima, he says it's a good return point for old fans, but with Little Goku and friends also for new fans with a different setting compared to recent Dragon Ball Super works, which is interesting, I guess. He says the red characters in the Daima episode titles have some kind of meaning / something to think about, but he can't say anything more yet. Now, Herms98 went ahead and posted on Twitter, but he says all the letters revealed so far don't spell anything yet, so I will keep you guys posted. It's not going to be anything major. I don't think it's going to be like a secret movie announcement or anything like that, so let's just see how things turn out. Now, instead of just making one character small like they did in GT, they thought it would be more fun making everyone small when they got together after the Boo events. That's why everybody are kids. When Nozawa did the Kamehameha pose at Jump Festa, Iyoku felt the entire venue would break, assuring she is in good shape. He cannot talk about the final episodes or when they will air or how long they will go, which makes sense. They are rumored to be 20 episodes, so we'll see how that goes. And that is the Iyoku interview. Of course, the most interesting stuff are the teases for 2025, but I thought the information that he gave about some of the behind the scenes of, like, for example, Piccolo, why he pushed for Piccolo and Superhero, that was interesting. Now, this next story is very minor, but I felt like I should mention it because some people were asking me about it in the comments of last video. There will be no Dragon Ball Daima episode this week. Now, they are going to be returning next week. No worries, it's not like a big hiatus like Dragon Ball Super, so nothing to necessarily worry about there. Looking forward ahead to January, what can we expect? Well, we can expect Battle Hour 2025, which mainly has the Dragon Ball video game news, so I would expect some Sparking Zero DLC information, maybe some DBZ Kakarot DLC information, and some Xenoverse 2 DLC. Also, some information about Daima behind the scenes. Now, we are also going to be getting Daima episodes 13 through 16. And for you Dokkan players, we're going to be getting the 10th anniversary event. And for you Dragon Ball Super fans, more information about the Dragon Ball Super manga one-shot. Of course, this is all information coming from DBS Hype on Twitter. Anyways, guys, that will be it for this video. A bit more of a concise news video, mainly because there wasn't a lot going on in the realm of Dragon Ball this week. Dragon Ball Daima's on hiatus, and I think they're winding down because Battle Hour's coming up, and we're going to get a lot of news out of Battle Hour. If you're excited for Battle Hour, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I will be keeping you guys updated on everything they announce. Anyways, that will be it for me. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary, and I will see you in the next one. Peace off.